Here are the weirdest things ever found in animals. Number 15. A light bulb and a golden retriever. In terms of animals eating weird stuff, dogs can go toe-to-toe with any creature on the planet. Especially Cody, a young golden retriever puppy who swallowed an entire light bulb. This poor dog had been vomiting for days when his humans decided to take him to the vet. They did some x-rays and were alarmed to find that the curious puppy had an entire light bulb in his tummy. Thankfully, they gave him intravenous fluids, and the pup passed the bulb intact, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. Generally speaking, golden retrievers are among the smartest dogs around. Since Cody was just a young, naive puppy at the time of this odd incident, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and chalk it up to inexperience. Number 14. An electric blanket and a Burmese python. Growing up to 18 feet long, Burmese pythons are among the largest snakes in the world. They're known to be active predators who stalk and strangle their prey. They're able to kill large creatures such as deer, alligators, and large birds. However, there's this case of a python who obviously didn't get the smart gene because it ate an electric blanket. In 2006, this 12-foot long snake needed emergency surgery to save its life after it ate its security blanket. Snakes don't regulate their own body temperatures very well, so its owner was nice enough to give him a blanket. Apparently, the blanket got tangled up with the rabbit its owner was serving it for dinner. Once inside, the blanket stretched out along 8 feet of the reptile's digestive tract, so vet workers managed to cut an 18-inch incision to remove the obstruction. Thankfully, the snake, whose name is ironically Houdini, was able to survive. Number 13. Tires and tiger sharks. So before we dive too deep into this, let's just say that this won't be the only shark on the list. As it turns out, there's very little sharks won't eat, including tires. In fact, tires have been found inside tiger sharks on more than one occasion. Known for their robust appetite, tiger sharks will eat anything unlucky enough to float in their direction. Even when they aren't hungry, marine biologists have noted that they eat out of boredom. Not too different from certain people. Good thing they don't eat rubber tires when they're bored. Number 12. Deer and an alligator. Here's a little cooking tip for you. Deer meat is really tasty. Anything you can do with beef, you can do with venison. Plus it's leaner and healthier. Apparently the word is out because an alligator in Alabama somehow managed to eat an entire doe. In August 2014, an Alabama woman and her family managed to catch the largest alligator ever recorded in the state. Weighing in at more than 1,000 pounds and measuring around 15 feet long, this massive gator was able to swallow a small doe. The taxidermist also noticed that the gator had the remains of a few other small animals inside of it as well. Experts seem pretty puzzled to exactly how this happened, as it's the first time anything like this has ever gone down. Number 11. Dog-eating rubber duckies. Ducks are a delicacy in many cultures. Rubber ducks, though a staple in bathtubs everywhere, not so much. Unless you're a dog named Wolf, then they're your favorite bedtime snack. Quick backstory. A Florida woman had a small child who loved rubber duckies. Unfortunately, they mysteriously went missing fairly often. Every time the child lost the duck, the mom would go buy a new one. One night, she finally solved the mystery of the missing ducks. As her kid splashed around in the tub, Wolf trotted into the bathroom, snagged the duck, and scarfed it down. So Mom took Wolf to the vet, and they removed 5 rubber duckies. They also found a toy truck in his belly. The good news is that Wolf had the item safely removed. The bad news is that no toy in that household is safe. Number 10. Knife in a puppy. Puppies are curious little creatures. Take Lexi here, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier in Sydney, Australia, for example. For some reason, she swallowed an entire 8-inch steak knife. Like all of the other dogs on our list, Lexi was taken to a vet for an upset stomach. Vets were beyond surprised when they performed x-rays and found a freaky knife inside of her. The vets managed to remove the knife after carefully pulling it back through the dog's esophagus, a meticulous effort that took close to an hour to pull off. Amazingly, Lexi, who was just a 6-month-old puppy, managed to survive the occasion, though she spent 3 days in intensive care. How did she manage to swallow an entire knife? Well, that's a question no one can really answer. Number 9. The arm of a murdered man. There's no way to rate weirdness in a quantitative way, but if you could, this little story would have to rate somewhere on the higher end of the spectrum. April 25th, 1935. A tiger shark was caught near Sydney, Australia. It was put on public display for entertainment. As it turned out, the shark didn't disappoint. The shark got sick and puked up a human arm. Yes, a human arm, in a pool in front of bewildered onlookers. The best part is, this shark actually ate a smaller shark, who had eaten someone's arm. The arm, as it turned out, belonged to boxer and professional criminal Jim Smith, who had been missing since April 7th of that year. Police were able to identify the arm, thanks to a distinctive tattoo. They figured the arm was cut off after Smith was murdered and thrown into the ocean where a hungry or bored tiger shark ate it. So they opened a murder investigation and had several suspects, as Smith had recently become a police informant. Their diligent detective work ultimately led them to arrest a local criminal named Patrick Brady, though he was later acquitted of the crime. In the end, this bizarre incident left way more questions than answers. It was also the inspiration for a 2003 episode of CSI Miami. This is the story that just keeps on giving. Number 8. The Bra-Eating Dog. You've probably heard of edible panties, but not edible bras. Well, that's because edible bras aren't really a thing. I think. Unless you're Norris, the rat terrier from Edna, Texas. After Norris kept barfing, he was taken to the vet, who took some x-rays and found a strange metal clip in his stomach. Much to his owner's dismay, it turned out to be part of her bra strap. Norris apparently ate 14 inches worth of her bra strap, including that part of the metal clip. The mischievous dog must have snuck into the laundry room and snagged the bra when his owners weren't paying attention. Thankfully, the only casualty was the bra, as Norris survived the ordeal. Number 7. A polar bear for dinner? How about reindeer? Greenland sharks are a subject of fascination for marine biologists. These elusive creatures are difficult to study and document. Adding to this fascination is the fact that they have been known to hunt down polar bears and reindeer on occasion. Greenland sharks are virtually indestructible. Growing up to 23 feet long, they live up to 200 years and can survive in the most frigid of conditions. Their diet mostly consists of large sea creatures, such as seals. Their affinity for land animals is especially odd because they're known to mostly lurk deep in the water, around 2,000 feet deep, where temperatures are about 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Fishermen often hunt these sharks for food, in particular for a popular dish in the region called hakari. When these sharks are caught, they have sometimes been found with the remnants of polar bears, reindeer, and even horses in their bellies. How they managed to catch these animals is still anybody's guess. Number 6. An entire chicken coop, complete with chickens. Chicken is a popular dish for us, but apparently sharks like them too. But it was still surprising when a tiger shark was found with a chicken coop inside of him. Not just that, but it would appear as though the chickens were still in the coop when it was eaten, which is probably what piqued the gluttonous shark's interest to begin with. Why someone would be so thoughtless as to chuck live chickens into the ocean is beyond us. Number 5. A horse head. Here we go with tiger sharks again. This time it's a horse's head that was discovered in the shark's belly. The circumstances under which this occurred are not at all clear, because horses aren't exactly known to be prolific swimmers. What we do know is that tiger sharks are extremely aggressive eaters who eat their prey whole. Our guess? The horse was probably on a ship and somehow managed to fall off, and was unlucky enough to come across a hungry tiger shark. Number 4. A bag of money. Alright, one last item found inside of a tiger shark, and we'll stop picking on them. Somehow, someway, a tiger shark managed to devour an entire bag of money. Someone apparently was really careless to let a bag full of cash slip into the ocean. Since sharks have no use for money in the ocean, eating it seems like the next best option. And before we leave the subject of tiger sharks alone for good, here's a few more curious items found inside of them. License plates, a bag of coal, tools, old pants, deer antlers, a donkey, a bag of potatoes, explosives, and hyenas. Number 3. Eggs and giant African rock python. When a group of villagers in Nigeria noticed a huge snake whose torso was swollen, they assumed it had been eating their livestock. Fearing the snake may strike again, they decided to kill it. After all, They need livestock to make a living, so it was the best decision for them. However, when they killed the snake and cut it open, they were surprised to find a whole bunch of eggs in it. The snake, which was likely an African rock python, was pregnant and was about to give birth to dozens of eggs. The eggs are actually considered a delicacy, so it was kind of a good score for the villagers. While the villagers misread this particular situation, make no mistake, a full-grown python could kill a calf. As Africa's largest snake, they often grow up to around 20 feet long and prey on monkeys, warthogs, antelope, dogs, small crocodiles, and the cubs of big cats. They kill their food using their quick speed and strength to suffocate it. Number 2. Human remains in a crocodile. We saved this scary find for number 2 on the list. Crocodiles are dangerous to humans. This is evidenced by the many times people's remains have been found inside of crocs. Most recently, the remains of a woman killed on the coast of Northeast Australia were found inside of a saltwater crocodile. Cindy Waldron went out for a late-night swim in Daintree National Park back in June of 2016, when she was tragically attacked and killed by a 14-foot saltwater croc. Search and rescue crews later trapped and killed the suspected culprit and discovered her remains. A solid reminder that while we may be the most advanced creatures on the history of the Earth, we can still end up as prey. Number 1. Crocodile mummies. Here at number 1 we have crocodiles again. Crocodiles are the most developed reptiles on the planet. They're basically leftover dinosaurs that couldn't seem to be killed off. Scientists are constantly discovering both fascinating and frightening things about these guys. So when they found mummified crocodiles inside of a larger crocodile, well, that pretty much takes the cake in terms of weirdness. Scientists at the National Museum of Antiquities in the Netherlands were using an advanced scanning method on a crocodile that had been mummified and on display since 1828. They were astonished when they discovered an additional 40 baby crocs who were mummified within the larger croc. Here's what's next.